The second space is effectively a carbon copy of everything you can do on the main space on your Xiaomi or Poco phone. In effect, it is like having two devices within one, and a very secure feature. The second space is very similar to Samsung Secure Folder. So let's go inside and see what it's all about. To set up the second space, you will need to go into the settings menu on your device and look for additional settings. Then select additional settings and scroll up until you see second space. Then select second space and you should come to a page that looks very similar to this. Depending on which device you're using, once you go in your settings menu and then you select additional settings, then you scroll up and you'll see that the second space is second from the bottom. Throughout this video, I will be using the Poco X5 Pro. Once you follow the second space setup and your biometric setup, which should be straightforward, then you're good to go. You only need to set this up once. Now that we're all set up and ready to rock and roll, I've set my fingerprints for both my first space and my second space. So let's start with the first space, and watch, I'll be using my thumb. So here we go, and take note of the wallpaper. So everything here is within my first space. And then let me just give you a quick tour around just so you can see. So here I've got some photos and videos. Okay, if I go in the Google Play Store, so see, this is what it looks like here. And if I go on the Google search bar, so again, just put it forward so you can see. So hopefully everything that's in here, or anything that's in here, should not be appearing in the second space. Again, obviously I've got all my Google apps, and look, so this is the interface of the first space. So I'm now going to access my second space using my first finger. Okay, so let's give it a try. And look at that, we are in the second space, and straight away you can tell from the wallpaper that it is different to the one on the first space. So let's just have a quick tour. So hopefully you'll notice the difference. So if I go into the Google search bar, look at that. So you can see straight away it was totally different to the one in the first space. Okay, so let's come out of there. Let's go in the gallery. Look at that. In the gallery, we don't have any photos or videos in there. But if I was to take a photo or a video, it will remain in this second space. So again, I've got all my apps, everything there. And if you go back here, look, the Google Play Store, look at that. I've not even set that up yet. So proof that the second space is different to the first space. And if you want to switch back, you can either tap on this button here, and obviously whatever biometrics you set it up, that's the one you will use. So again, no one, if you gave this device to somebody, no one can access anything that is in your first space. What I want to do now is just show you how easy it is to switch from the second space back to the first space. Again, really simple. So I did use my thumb for the first space. So if I just press it off and then press that back now, and as if by magic, I am back in my first space. Google has a lock folder on their devices where you can store photos and videos. However, it does not store apps or documents. Oppo has the private save, which is also very good, and you can store documents too. You can use the second space in a number of ways. Firstly, you can use it, as the name suggests, as a second space. So if someone wants to use your device to search the internet or for YouTube, you can let them use your device in the safe knowledge that they cannot view anything beyond the second space. Secondly, you may want to use the second space for personal use, like keeping things private. from people who may have access to your first space. Regardless how you use the second space, it is flawless and reliable. I also like how the second space is available not only on the more expensive flagship Xiaomi and Poco phones, but also on their mid-range phones too. One thing I do want to point out, and that is if you're using the fingerprint sensor to access your second space on your mid-range phones like I did with the Poco X5 Pro, then it can be a fraction slow, but it does work as demonstrated. And if you're using a flagship Poco or Xiaomi phone, the fingerprint sensor will respond much quicker. Nevertheless, the result is the same. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this episode. My name is Shola. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in another episode. Peace.